Hello, this is Peta from Peta Yoga. Thanks so much for joining me today. I wanted to actually talk to you a little bit about perimenopause. Perimenopause is actually a transition. It actually translates over to around menopause. So when you hear perimenopause, it doesn't mean that you are actually going into a phase where you're going to stop menstruating altogether. This is actually a phase that's going to last anywhere between 8 and 12 years. On average, at least. Just like on average, women between the ages of 40 and 55 tend to go through perimenopause. However, some people, like myself, start prior to the age of 40, and this is okay. Now, if you're before the age of 40 and you're still looking to have children, this does not mean that you will not be able to have children. It might mean it might be a little more challenging and may take more time to conceive. However, it is not an impossibility. There are symptoms that are associated with perimenopause. One of the first things that I noticed was hot flashes. You start to feel hot for no reason. You even get flushed in the face. Another symptom can be night sweats, where all of a sudden you begin to sweat through your bed sheets and bedclothes. Brain fog. Even having the inability to focus for long periods of time can also be a challenge. And then you also have fatigue, irritability, and moodiness, very significant mood swings. These are all things that I started to notice, and it wasn't until my period, which typically is quite like clockwork, all of a sudden shifted and was starting to either be early or late. And it was just by a day or two. Never anything really significant. But again, my menstruation has always been like clockwork. It's like I can predict it and it's right there. And I started to realize that this was a change. So I'm going to share with you a few ways that you can actually support the symptoms of perimenopause using yoga, using aromatherapy, and using pranayama. So hang tight, I'm going to get you that information. Hi, welcome back. Okay, so speaking of essential oils, by the way, I am nowhere near affiliated with doTERRA. It is just a product that I use and that I like. But if you are using a different brand of essential oil, please be sure that it is certified therapeutic grade essential oils. There are processes that they go through to ensure quality. But anyway, I digress. So I was talking about citrus oils like lime or lemon. Typically, these oils are very uplifting. So if you find that you're fatigued and you're tired and you just don't have energy, which will often happen during perimenopause as a symptom, utilizing these oils, whether you're diffusing or if you're applying topically, which, by the way, if you are applying topically citrus oils to your skin, be sure, number one, to use some sort of dilution, such as fractionated coconut oil or just coconut oil, olive oil, anything like that, because you may have a skin sensitivity. Another thing is with citrus oils, they are reactive to sunlight. So if you go outside, be sure you're not applying before you go outside. Another one is when you're having hot flashes. I have peppermint here. Peppermint is really good, again, using a dilution with oil, or if you know that you don't have a skin sensitivity, you can apply it directly, like around to the back of the neck, or like right before bed, or even just during a hot flash or having night sweats. This is really cooling. You can even place it at the bottom of the feet to kind of help aid in that cooling effect. A blend that doTERRA makes, this is a wintergreen blend. It's called Past Tense. This one also has some other oils in it, like peppermint It has frankincense, it has cilantro, marjoram, Roman chamomile, and basil, as well as rosemary. So this one, I usually will apply it to the back of the neck. And the nice thing about this particular one is that it actually has a roller, so you can apply it directly. It's pretty sweet. Another one that I have here is Serenity. Now this is also a blend. This one also, if you feel like you need a dilution, you can always use fractionated coconut oil. You can place it topically. You can also diffuse it. What's nice about it is there's lavender, there's sandalwood in it, there's very calming, very relaxing herbs in here, and it will help you calm down when you're feeling anxiety, when you're feeling irritable and angry. This is a great blend to utilize when you're feeling just downright mean, right? Because it happens, trust me. Speaking of sandalwood, I will say that it is pricey, especially if you're getting a high quality sandalwood, but it is well worth it. It also helps alleviate anxiety and anger, so it'll help uplift also, so you can kind of utilize it when you're feeling down to uplift, but it'll also bring you down a little bit if you're feeling a little angry. So these are just a few of the essential oils that might be able to help you. If you have any more questions on that, feel free to let me know. We are going to move on now to some pranayama that you can use for your symptoms. Hello, welcome back. Okay, so something else that I have found that really helps me, particularly with the hot flashes, and you might even use a combination of essential oils with this pranayama, with the yoga practice, with whatever you need, foods, anything to support your symptoms. So there is a type of pranayama called Shitali pranayama. And there is a secondary form called Shitkali. The reason that there are two forms is because Shitali, the first one, basically means that we are going to curl our tongue. Genetically, there are some people that cannot curl their tongue. So we have developed another way, Shitkali, in order to achieve the same benefits. So first of all, when you're curling your tongue, you're breathing in through the tongue and then breathing out through the nose. Breathing in through the tongue, breathing out through the nose. For Shitkali, you're pursing your lips and creating an opening. Breathing in through the mouth. These two pranayamas are great ways to invite cooling into the body. And you can practice this in bed. So it's great if you happen to wake up to a hot flash, you can utilize the pranayama in order to achieve cooling and invite rest back into your nightly routine. You can literally do this anywhere. And even for those of us who can curl the tongue, if we're in a public place and we don't want to look strange walking around going, you can always just go, right? So it makes it very accessible, very easy for us to utilize. All right, now we're going to move on to the yoga practice. A yoga pose called shoulder stand. For some of us, that might not be in our practice because a lot of us aren't used to having a lot of weight on our shoulders. So I'm going to show you a very easy way to get into shoulder stand that will help support you, but also invite cooling, help alleviate anxiety and fatigue, maybe even help also boost your immunity, because as we know, sometimes when we're feeling frustrated and irritable, and then on top of that we've got stress from everyday life and just not knowing what's happening with our bodies, we lower our immune response. So by doing shoulder stand, which is considered an inversion, we can allow ourselves to move the lymph material around the body, which will help flush out things that don't belong, such as germs and other things. So what we're going to do is we're going to come and lay on our back. The first way I'm going to show you is to basically lift your elbow, or lift your chest up, elbows alongside the body, and then from here you can simply bring the legs up into an L shape. It's okay to bend the knees here. It doesn't really matter if you're bending the knees, because I know a lot of people are really tight in the hamstrings. So another option is to utilize a yoga block or a pillow. You will lift the pelvis and slide the block right underneath that flat bone called the sacrum, and then lower yourself down. From here, we can play with lifting one leg and then the other, laying the arms down alongside the body. Breathing here, you can even use your Shitali or Shitkali pranayama. And then begin to lower down, plant the feet, lift the pelvis up off of the block, slide it out, and then lower down. Now I will encourage you to rotate the knees from side to side here, just to incorporate a nice little twist to the spine, because we did do a little bit of a forward bend there. So we want to make sure that we're recalibrating the spine. And then when you're ready, you can roll to the side and come back up. So that is one yoga pose that you can do to help alleviate some of the discomfort that we have with perimenopause symptoms. I hope this was informative, and I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video.